Okay, why is that? That is delayed quite a bit. Oh god. Okay. There's still a delay. That's fine. I think it's working. I think. Put that in my pocket. Okay. Okay. So, I think we're ready to go. I think, anyway. That looks... I don't know why I decided to test the stream, but hey, why not? Okay. Getting a warning. What am I getting a warning for? Okay. So, okay. So we are live for the first time forever on my channel. This is yeah, 100% was not fully set up and ready yet. Because of the fact that I kind of uh well, wasn't fully, I guess, planning on. I mean, I was planning on going live, but I kind of was expecting something last second to happen. So as a result, I'm not fully uh, ready to go. I'm getting warnings. What am I getting warnings for? Stream's current bitrate is lower than the recommended bitrate. I can't change the bitrate right now. Like, I can't change that right now. Because, like I said, this is all test stuff, so I'm actually not sure what's all going on. So, real quick, I'm sorry for this light being blown out right now. That's a little better. So, in this live stream, we are going to be first getting this stuff kind of moved off to the side because we're going through a bunch of vintage hardware and Apple stuff that I picked up very recently from a very generous gentleman. There's a kind of a long story as to what was going on there. Okay, good. Anyway, yes, we are going to be first clearing this stuff off this desk because I'm going to be moving the cameras over here to uh, get a top-down view of what's all in the boxes. And there's 2, 4, 6, 8 boxes. If you saw my post that I posted, I think it was a Friday or something that I posted about this. So yeah, that's what we're doing. There's you probably saw the back of that vehicle. That was the gentleman's vehicle I got all this stuff from. There's like 8 boxes or so. A couple of the boxes are legitimately falling apart as they're sitting over here. So yeah, I know what's in. Anyway, I know what's in one of the boxes because he kind of opened it laughing and giggling because he said that it's probably something I'm going to be getting rid of or selling, which I am. I'm actually talking to somebody about that, but that's future thing. So I'm going to be getting the rest of this desk here cleaned off, like I said, so we can use this to go through the boxes. So again, I wasn't fully time snuck up on me. That's why things are weird. Oh, and also I want to preemptively apologize to anyone watching the stream. I'm just getting over a upper respiratory thing. So if I have a random coughing fit, I'll try to mute my microphone. But if not, again, I apologize. Definitely need to get better lighting down here because, yeah, that, I mean, I guess for, you know, display purposes, the light's fine, but. So a couple things real quick with the stream. I'm going to say this a few different times throughout the stream. Try to keep the stream on topic with whatever we're doing here in the video, which is opening those boxes and going through them, kind of seeing some of the neat stuff that he had, well, basically donated to me in the channel. And I guess if it kind of, I guess not really side slants, but I guess diagonally slants the topic to any of the things that's in the computer room, I'll be sure to answer them as the questions pop up. The stream is moderated by my wife, so try to keep things on topic. No foul language, no, I guess, I don't know why we would bring up politics, but I guess no politics, nothing like that. So, yeah. Be mature about it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I wonder if I should start something different too. Okay. All right, so real quick, I'm going to hopefully get TikTok live going. I kind of mentioned I would try and do both if I can get both of them to work. So like I said, I'm not 100% prepared for everything. Time kind of snuck up on me. Plus also I decided this weekend was the weekend, hey, I should reorganize my entire game room and get everything set up a little bit differently because a bit of a dork that way. And if I guess if once in a while I'm not looking at the cameras because I'm making sure that I'm recording right. Oops. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm still setting up stuff for the live. I'm not. Yep, there's a coughing fit. Yeah, time snuck up on me. That's why I tried to put for 5 p.m. Central Time because I thought, oh, I'd have plenty of time to get down here and finalize everything. But, you know, no, I'm a dork. This is bad. I'm doing this as I'm trying to be live, which is funny. Okay, flip camera. All right. So, okay. All right, so I've also got TikTok live going right now. YouTube live's going. Okay, things should be going good now. Yeah, so my wife's the moderator for TikTok live, and she just said best way to test everything is on stream because yeah, that's the best way to test any problems. And yes, I'm already having problems. I keep getting a warning on YouTube Live, the bit rate's not right, and I don't know why, because I have everything set to what was recommended for this, but anyway. Okay. Okay. All right, so I'm not really quite sure what camera to move for the overhead shot here because unfortunately, the main camera that I use for all my main recording, which is a Vivitar 4K camera of some kind I got from Walmart because I'm on a budget with my YouTube stuff. I noticed a weird problem with it today, which was if I put it into webcam mode, if I'm not like this far away from the camera, like a normal webcam would be, it like freezes the frame and won't do nothing until it detects motion in front of it. So, uh, yeah, that is annoying, but it's something I'm gonna have to work around for the future. So, which is why I kind of have a 1440 webcam going currently. Okay. So yeah. So anyway, a bit of a repeat of what we're doing in this live stream. I picked up a bunch of vintage. It's not all Apple stuff, but it's mostly all Apple stuff from the early 80s. The gentleman I got this stuff from used to work at Apple, which was a huge shock to me the first time I met this guy. So a lot of the stuff I got several months ago was kind of a random surprise. In fact, you can kind of see some of the stuff I got behind here. That's all kind of future project stuff. It's a kind of an interesting story as to how I even came across this stuff. So I'm gonna grab a box real quick and we can start going through stuff as I talk. Again, I have no idea what I'm doing. Okay. First box, and like I said, so there's one box here. There's a box of floppies, and see if I can do this without freaking something. No, I'm not gonna do that because I'm freaking stuff out. There's like 6 or 7 more boxes bigger than this over here. So yeah. There we go. That's better. Okay, so quick recap as to why I even picked up all this Apple stuff in the first place. So I was on my personal Facebook account, which I have 2 Facebook accounts. I have one for personal stuff, and then I have one for it's a page. I have it set up. I think I have it set up wrong. It's a page for my YouTube channel that I usually use for joining retro computer groups and stuff, since it's tied to the channel. But I was actually on my personal Facebook page, and there was somebody that had posted. He had found, I think it was either an Apple III or a Lisa side of the road. It was damaged, and he asked the question if anybody was interested or knew anything about it. So as a throwaway comment on that post, I said, it was just, like I said, it was a throwaway comment because I really didn't expect anything to come of it. I just typed out, even though I collect a little bit of everything, I don't usually go for the Lisas or the Apple IIIs since they're more for the hardcore Apple collectors. If I come across one, great. If not, oh well. But hopefully you can find somebody that can help you. It's effectively what I said, I think. And it was like last year when I said this. And this gentleman responded to me, and he said that he had a bunch of Apple stuff that he was trying to purge from his house. He was getting up there in age, didn't know, whatever. And he didn't want his kids and grandkids to just purge everything because there's a lot of old Apple stuff there. And most of the time when I see, especially around my area anyway, somebody that says they have old computer stuff, usually it's like Gateways or Dells, and it's like Windows 95 and newer. So I really wasn't sure what he meant by old Apples until we decided to meet up, which, yeah, sounds sketchy. And I'll admit, my wife, who's moderating this, I think she actually was on the same page that it sounded sketchy, that, make sure this is legit before I travel. Well, he drove up from Arkansas. He was passing through anyway, and when he got there, it was legit. He opened the back of his truck and he pulled out an Apple III, which blew my mind. Pulled out an Apple IIe, which is the third Apple IIe that I came across now because I found two more like prior to that. And then a box of cards and cables and stuff for the Apple II and Apple III line, which I've already gone through and sorted, but I might show that here later on. Anyway, he said he had some more stuff and he was going to go through his attic and that kind of stuff, and didn't know when he was going to get to it. Well, 2 weeks ago, he messaged me back and said, hey, I went through the attic, found some more Apple stuff. I'm sure you want it. I'm like, well, absolutely. And he said he wouldn't be up this way until January of 2027 because he was going to be traveling through for, I think, meeting some friends and family in another state. I said, that's fine. We can, I'm on no rush to get this stuff. I never am. And he messaged me 2 weeks ago and said, hey, change of plans. I'm going to be up that way mid-July. So I'll bring this stuff to you. I'm like, okay, great. And then he sent me a picture of what was there, which you saw in the post I posted, which was the 7 or 8 boxes in the back of his Jeep, which was just, I don't know why. When I come across Apple, when I come across vintage computer stuff, it's either I come across just 1 or 2 little things, or I come across a whole vehicle load. There's no in-between gray area, much to my wife's dismay. But yeah, he kept pulling boxes out, and one of the boxes he started laughing about because there was something in the box that was really, really interesting. He didn't think he had the computer for it. And I've already been talking to some people on Discord about that box. He opened the box, so I know what's in that one. So we'll get to that one near the end. But anyway, yeah, I just put all the stuff in my car and then my wife's car, brought it home, put it in my living room, and it's been sitting up there for a few days. So now we're going to finally crack into this thing and get to looking at it. And, which I figured, why not do it for a live stream? Hence this. Mainly because I want to do more computer stuff on live streams, including restoring that Apple III on a live stream, working on the PDP-1103 I picked up a while ago on live stream. That is blowing my face out really bad. And just some other general computer stuff on live streams. I figured, why not, as a test, unbox stuff, which I'm also doing on TikTok as well as YouTube Live. I just want to see how well that's going to work. I'm going to be going until, on TikTok anyway, I'm going to be going until my phone here dies. So if I suddenly stop streaming on TikTok, please head over to the YouTube Live to continue watching. So let's see what's in these boxes. Let's just finally get to them. Bootstrap workbench. For 90% of the public, old computer means turn of the century beige box. Yeah, 100%. That's kind of like, so I live in Iowa, and really our only claim to fame in Iowa when it comes to computers was the ABC computer, which is regarded as one of the earliest traditional computers built, I think in the 40s or 50s, I remember right. And gateway computers of all things. The iconic cow box was because it started in Iowa. And yeah, a lot of people, when I ask if they have any old computers, it's always like Windows 98 or newer stuff, which is fine. I collect that stuff too, but I really adore the old 80s stuff. My wife feels the same way. I say, hey, let's drive to Oklahoma City for pickups and 18 computers, and I get the eye roll. Oh! Bootstrap Workbench. This is Retro Computing Ranch as my alt, by the way. Okay. What's up, Charles? How's it going? Yeah, so, I know Charles at Retro Computing Ranch. I haven't met him personally, but, he was, if anyone had seen my prior videos, God, that is just really bad blowing my face out. If you've seen any of my other prior videos, especially about the PDP-11 one, he was the one that got me in contact with a gentleman that I was able to pick up. So, what's up, man? All right, enough blabbering. Let's get into this box here. I'm going to move this real quick. I'm going to put it, though. I don't want to put it on top of the dang box. Okay, there we go. That's better. Now I'm not feel so awkward when I'm looking over there. All right, so in this box, we got a spare keyboard for a Apple IIe, I believe. Yeah, because it's got the offset reset button over here. It's in really good shape too. Weirdly, it says AWS2S on it. Tested and it's final approval. There is some scratches on the traces, so I don't know if the keyboard would fully work. The only way would be to actually, well, put it into a Apple IIe and test it out, but everything feels good. I have another keyboard. This is a, I believe this is for a 2 or 2 Plus. Yeah, matches the 2 Plus. All the keys are intact. It's in really good shape too. Some scratches on the PCB, but nothing major. Blank sticker fell off. Yeah. That feels... How many different keyboard variants were there for the Apple II? Because this one feels a lot different than that 2 Plus, which then feels different than my Bell & Howell 2 Plus. Keys come off pretty well. So yeah, I have a spare keyboard. Another 2 Plus keyboard. This one's a little rusty, but still intact. Well, no, the spacebar rods. Is it broken off? No, just disconnected. Even that one feels different. The keys feel different. And the key stocks are a little bit different too. Interesting. So I have two 2 Plus keyboards so far. Make that 3. I just lied. This one's missing a key and a key spacer. This one's got, this one's actually got individual key spacers on it. And yeah, it's missing a single key. Spaceboard or spacebar support is off like the other one. It does have a spare power light indicator, which is really nice to have. These are not easy to find if you lose them. Even that one feels different. Now this one has a blue backed PCB, which is really, really nice. And looks like it's a older revision because all the PCB traces are hand drawn. Don't know if anyone can see that, but yeah, awesome. So 3 2/2 Plus keyboards and a 2E keyboard, which is really good because my Bell & Howell one back there has a keyboard issue. I've had that thing for like, the channel's 6 years old now. I think I've got that for about 5 years. And that thing just gives me keyboard issues all the time. If I can swap out the keyboard mechanisms and have them still work by swapping over keycaps. If not, well, I'm not going to be too worried about it. Because I would like to have that one fully up and running too. We have a box of floppies. DOS 3.3 System Master Pack. Do I have any comments I need to respond to? Nope. I'm cleaning the rat shed terminal today. It's super gross. Dang it. Sorry. Yeah, that's kind of why it's like I'm really hesitant to go into hoarder houses. I've gone into a couple. My wife can attest to at least one of them. And I don't know. I don't know if I have the stomach to go into a lot of hoarder houses that have legitimate rat droppings. Like that's, I just don't know. Anyway, micro courier for Apple II computers. This one doesn't have anything on it. Somebody crossed it out, but it does have a Apple logo with a 16 on it. I think that means 16 sector. DOS 3.2. That's actually going to be handy to hold on to because even though there's not a whole lot of Apple II software that would require DOS 3.2, because most of it requires DOS 3.3, it's still nice to have that. Accounting P OS2 General Ledger Data Sample Copy. Microsoft Soft Card 13 sector disk. Interesting, because I would think by the time the soft cards came out, it would have been 16 sector. Drive 1 Accounting +2 System Control for the Corvus interface. I might have to put that one aside and send some pictures. I'm going to be taking pictures of stuff when I get done and putting it on a couple of the Discords I'm in and seeing if any Apple experts out there are could help me identify some of the stuff. Counting +2 counts regular, counting +2 payments. WordStar. Doesn't say what. Microsoft Soft Card 16 sector disk for DOS 3.3 or language card format disk. So that needs to go with that. Counting +2 system control. Microsoft Soft Card, the actual card, version 0.223 for the Apple II system diskette, 48K memory, 16 sector DOS, and 1 disk drive. Then we have DOS 3.3 Basics, and DOS 3.3 System Master. I have come across more System 3.3 Masters in the past year, or half a year anyway, than I have when I started the channel, because I, well, didn't have any working Apple IIs except for the Bell and Howell unit back there the longest time, and I've only recently got that somewhat working, so I didn't need to try and track any down. I just kept making them with ADD Pro, and, well, now I'm coming across some that are officially branded. Not that that matters. That's a notification I don't care about. Okay, got a binder. Apple Training Programs Level 1. So yeah, the guy I got the stuff from, I misspoke before in a couple posts and videos. He wasn't an Apple engineer. He was a, how did he word it? He was a technician in the engineering department, but he did a lot of stuff with like development of things. He, I don't remember exactly how he worded it. And I should have asked him a couple days ago what he meant. But he said he did some stuff on the encoder boards for the Apple II Plus and II system here. If not the keyboards themselves, he did some development there. He said he did some stuff on the early Macintosh and the Lisa, and he left before the Lisa was released, if I remember correctly. So yeah, a lot of the stuff that I've gotten from him has been technical stuff. Module 1C, July 1981. Basics about static electricity. Ooh. Some of these got a little bit of moisture to them. See if I can find what. Oh yeah, it's for like diagnosing Apple stuff, and it goes along with a video cassette actually. So apparently, so it says right here, VHS tape. Watch first segment, turn page as plays. So, training programs for the level 1 service training. I love documentation. Anyway, a lot of stuff I got from him. I have like Apple II schematics, official Apple III schematics, including the expansion cards and diagnostic stuff for those machines. So it's actually really cool to come across that stuff. Microsoft Soft Card System Binder. Oh yeah, for the Apple II. Quick reference guide. No floppies, but yeah, how to basically use the Microsoft Soft Card for the Apple II. Which, for anyone who's not familiar with the Apple II system, the Soft Card was a really interesting thing. It was a Z80 CPU, and I believe it had a 64K RAM on its own. And basically what it allowed was you to use CP/M on the Apple II, which by this point, when the Apple II originally came out, CP/M was still highly usable. And it was basically what inspired what we now know as Microsoft's DOS and PC DOS and all those others. It was really similar, so you can use. It gets weird because DOS is disk-based operating system. So when you say DOS, DOS means so many things. So like you can use Microsoft-style DOS, CP/M, on an Apple II instead of Apple's DOS. Yeah, so how to install it, how to use it, how to. There's even stickers here to relabel your drives. Drive A, B, C, D, E, F. That's, who would use 6 drives on an Apple II? That's a cool piece of software. Oh, this is Microsoft Multiplan electronic worksheets. The casing's damaged, but Microsoft Multiplan for the Apple II and 3 with soft card system and CPM 80. Oh yeah, so basically it just teaches you how to use Multiplan, which was kind of I'm trying to explain what Multiplan was, because I remember seeing this at some point. It was like for productivity tools and stuff, like spreadsheets and such like that. Is there any? I don't think there's any. No. Oh, yes, there is. There's floppies. More floppies. Multiplan master disk, multifunction setup disk, install, worksheet for the Apple II and 3 soft card. Yeah. So we actually have the full software here for it in a really cool, although broken, plastic case. I'm hearing something outside. I don't know what it is. All right, we have circuit. What is this? Oh, it's a piece. It's a unpopulated keyboard PCB. I don't know for what though, because it doesn't match the two. Doesn't match the 2 pluses because it's got this connector up here. It might be for the 2E keyboard. I think where's the 2E keyboard I just had? Yeah, it's got the header connector over here, but it's a different revision because everything's more squared off and stuff instead of hand drawn. So I have an unpopulated PCB. Awesome. Using Osborne CPM special edition. Special. Oh, sorry. Only in the early 80s because you have something like this. The Osborne CPM guide, special Microsoft soft card edition for the Apple. So, to kind of put this into what this is CPM for the Osborne, which I do have, it's down under here. So Osborne CPM discs, floppies, put into an Apple II to be able to be read by a Microsoft soft card, the Z80 card. What would, I'm trying to think, what would be the point of that? Like, why would you need to? I mean, I get the Osborne when you bought it back in the day came with thousands of dollars worth of software, but that's funny. Only in the 80s could you see this. Could you imagine this today? Like, I'm trying to think what would be this like how this would work. Would be like using Linux on a Windows virtual machine on an Apple iMac. Would be the current standard for that, I guess. Disk drive cable clamp nut plates. Yeah, basically this is the instructions how to install the backing plate on the back of these Apple IIs to keep the strain relief for the floppy cables and stuff. We have an invoice here with lowercase plus keyboard plus from 1981. Doesn't say what it's for or nothing. We have a bunch of spare keycaps here for something. They don't match the Apple. They match the Apple IIe's font, but they don't match the Apple IIe's back stock, so I don't know what's going on there. More keycaps. These are for the Apple II Plus, and what's weird is every one of them has like Sharpie on them. Like Sharpie throw, search. They all have different fired gun. They all have Sharpie on them. That bag's sealed. Why can't I open the bag? Yeah. I don't know if you can see it. But yeah, they all have Sharpie on them. I'll put it on the TikTok one too, because why not? Oh yeah, so everybody who's on TikTok right now, my battery's already down to 66%. That phone is not great. So if that stream ends, head over to the YouTube one to watch. So awesome. Spare keycaps, and I have no idea what these would be for, because they, like I said, they match the font, they don't match the stock. Warranty information for the Soft Card System 2. I have a 100% feeling that this is something that's never been archived, just because why would you archive warranty information? Oh, we actually have the brackets and stuff for, yeah, it's a bag full of the brackets for those stress reliefs. Awesome. I've been kind of wanting to get some of these, or find them anyway, especially for the Apple II Plus, because it'd be kind of neat to just install factory OEM stuff on an Apple. We have a 9-pin DIN connector with 2 desoldered leads. This one says 0 and this one says 1 on it. Mountain Computer Incorporated, CPS Pascal and CPM user guide. And the CPS multifunction card. I don't remember. CPS multifunction card, you need an Apple II or II Plus with at least 32K and disk drive. CPS card works with Apple language running basic. Routines are available on diskette, allowing to use. It also says to remove. Also says to install a socket on the main board. I'll have to see if I picked up this card from this gentleman before. That's all for this box. So, bunch of software, books, floppies, and spare hardware for the Apple II line. Okay, get this out of the way. Engineer without engineer pay. Yeah, he never complained about it. I mean, he said he left before the Lisa came out, so I don't know if that's a. I don't know how to take that what he said about that. Because yeah, if you were a technician in the engineer section and you're not being paid as an engineer, you wouldn't stay long. At least I wouldn't. All right. This box might as well just get out of the way. Everything's falling. It's actually oddly something that I've kind of been looking for my collection down here. I have an Amiga 500 and I have an Apple II GS, which are two iconic 16-bit systems of the 80s. This is the remains of an Atari 1040 STF, which is basically the third wheel of the 16-bit, competition. And it's mostly all here. We have the power board, the main board, keyboard, the casing, the RF shielding, which is very, very browned and yellowed. And yeah, like I said, I've been wanting. I really originally, when I first started collecting stuff, I actually had no ambition to try and track down the 16-bit stuff because the collectors of those things are almost zealots. You you go on any forums and you ask, hey, Atari or Amiga, Apple II GS or the A600, and it's like a flame war. But yeah, it's almost mostly here. The shell's here. Everything's intact. We even have the really cool Atari mouse, which are really chunky clicks. And the most important part, we have the very proprietary video cable. He said this thing did work when he bought it. It is missing the floppy disk though. Drive. I don't know why it's missing the floppy drive. But he said he bought it sometime in the, I want to say sometime in the early 90s, because he was kind of curious as to how Atari did their 16-bit bus system here. Because in the early 90s, internet wasn't like it is today where you can just Google stuff. So the only way to understand circuitry was you had to know circuits and buy the hardware. This is a revision D. And the problem with me getting this working, even if this thing is fully functional, is again, no disk drive, which means it would never boot to anything, I think, besides the main screen. And the other problem is the video output. These need the special Atari ST monitor to give an output, which is problematic because without the monitor, unlike other computers at this time, there was a secondary like composite connector. This does not have the composite connector. I can make one, but I think the circuitry's gone, like missing from it, like off this revision. So I either need to buy a cable and hope and pray that I can get it to work in some way. And I actually do have a way that might have it work. I have it's a Hans G HL161 VGA monitor from like 2011. I picked up from somewhere. It is the only VGA monitor without any modifications that I have in my entire hoard down here that accepts these 15 kilohertz VGA input, like the Amiga 500 puts out. It works fine. So hopefully, if I can find a VGA cable for this, I can get it to work with that monitor, and I can at least get something to work with this. I hope, because I think it'd be really neat to have all three of the main 16-bit competitors side by side running the same game, and that way you can kind of compare, like, oh, which one looks better. But that's going to be a long restoration project. Okay. All right. Next box, and it's only because, well, it's falling apart. A bunch of documentation and books, which usually aren't all that, cool to collect or anything like that, or to hoard, but considering that sometimes physical is just better. Sony. So, well, we got a Strategies for Scientific Calculations from Casio. That's not useful because I don't have the calculator, but it's for 1982 Casio calculator. So, Apple III OEM prototyping card book. Huh. Yeah, it's just a book on how to use the prototype card for the Apple II or Apple III, which is interesting because the Apple III was basically a failure. So the fact this guy's got documentation for it. I'm getting another warning. What? Bitrate is, yeah, I'm sorry. So yeah, Apple III OEM prototyping card. Yeah, basically just a PCB with a bunch of test points on it for design stuff for the Apple III. The Silent Type 3 user's guide for the Apple III. So basically the specialized printer that they made for the Apple III. The Apple Language System Installation Guide. 1979. So this would have been for the original Apple II. And yeah, it actually talks about how to upgrade the RAM on the Apple II with using the jumper blocks, which was not on the 2 Pluses. So, which he says he thinks he has another Apple II Plus. He's not sure. He knows he had a second one. And if it is the original Apple II, I absolutely want to get my hands on that because I have 2 Pluses. And I absolutely would love to have the original Apple II because, yeah, a little more restrictive, but still be kind of cool. The MLA Handbook for Writers of Research Papers, 3rd edition. That is going to be the most boring book ever. Yeah, the format of a research paper. Yeah, basically how to use how to make like how to format research papers, make them look professional. Contributed Programs Volume 1 and 2 of the Apple Software Bank. Oh, so there should be a floppy in one of the things I got either this time or prior that had what this is basically, yeah. It basically says all the software that was on the floppy that would have came with this, which it does not have. We have another book. Is it the same one? Volume 1 and 2. Yeah, exact same book. So I have 2 copies of this. Awesome. A piece of paper. Contributed Programs 3 through 5. It's a Errata 2 manual. Programmer's Aid number 1 for the Apple Utility Programs. And Borg by Sirius. So the owner's manual for one of the books. Compatible with the Cirrus Software's Joyport. Requires an Apple II or 2 Plus computer, 48K, and Apple disk drive. Boots directly with either 13 or 16 sector controller. You know, I'm thinking about that now. There was a bunch of Apple disk controllers that came with this. I wonder if one of them was a 13 sector one. Because I've seen that kind of quite a bit on these. Extended 80 column text card supplement for 2E. The modem 300 and 1200 users manual for the Apple modem. The Disk 2 installation manual. Super important. Cable and connector guide for the Apple II. Yeah, just how to use those clamps and the graphics table clamps and all the different clamps for all the different Apple II. Because the Apple II here, for anyone who hasn't ever messed with an Apple II or 2E, the Apple IIs on the back, they're just slots for the expansion cards. And that's where the cables come through. So you can accidentally pull the cable and actually rip the card out of it while it's under power, which is bad. That also means things could go inside the slots on the back of the Apple II. The 2E actually has dedicated port covers that covers everything. So that's why books like this were really important back on the Apple II days. The Guide to New Features of the Apple IIe. Yeah, basically talks about what's the difference between the 2 Plus and the 2E. Apple IIe design guidelines. Interesting. And another modem 300, 1200 users guide, part 2. Modems are so boring in the retro computer space, by the way. The Apple IIc books. Reference manual volume 1 and 2 for the Apple IIc. That is awesome. I don't remember him having an Apple IIc, because if he would have quit in 1984 before the Lisa came out, the IIc came out, I think, what was it, 85, I think. So I don't know if he would have an Apple IIc. He says he has a couple more things in storage, but again, I don't really know. Apple Plot. Smart Term Intelligent Interface. 2 different revisions. Installation tutorial and reference manual. It's a Smart Term peripheral card. So what is the Smart Term? Apple Pascal Language Reference Manual, Addendum. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go through these and like sort them all out and see what goes where. The DOS manual for Apple II. I think I already have. Sorry. Like I said, I'm recovering from, not recovering, getting over an upper respiratory thing. But yeah, I think I already have a copy of this somewhere. A sealed user's guide for the Apple Writer 3. I don't remember there being an Apple Writer 3, to be honest, but it's sealed. That's kind of neat. Sirius Software Phantoms 5. Another owner's guide. So I'm going to put that with the board one. Dot Matrix Printer Reference Card Operator's Guide with the included floppy. The demo disc for the Dot Matrix printer. Which I do not have the Matrix printer for the Apple II. I have the, where'd it go? The ImageWriter 1 and 2. So, which is fine. I really don't, like I said, well, I said this before, I don't collect printers all that much just because they're kind of a pain in the butt to get working again. Apple III Standard Device Driver's Manual, which I think I already have one of these. So I do want to mention a lot of the duplicate stuff that I already do have when I get done sorting it. I am going to be posting for sale either on eBay or on some of the Discords I'm in, since a lot of those guys have helped me out with stuff. So like I said, he wants this stuff out in the hands of people who are actually going to use it. I use the Apple IIs all the time. I've used some of the documentation stuff. But if there's somebody out there who can actually utilize like a sealed copy of the Apple Writer 3 more than I would, then obviously this is archived somewhere on the internet. QuickFile 2 for the 2E only, Pascal 1.1 based. Interesting. Oh, we got Apple Software Binder. Mop Town. Oh, it's a game. With the needed floppies. Yeah, Moptown Master and Moptown Backup. So, awesome. I actually have an official game in a binder for it. Put that with the game stuff. Another copy of the Standard Device Driver's Manual for the Apple III. So that's like, I think 4 copies now of that I have. Pascal Animation Tools. The Apple Pascal Operating System Reference Manual. I've never used Pascal. Like, I never used any of the more obscure operating systems. Thunderclock Plus Scheduler Reference Manual for the Thunderclock card. Which I actually did pick up a Thunderclock card, not from this guy, but from my previous Apple II pickup, and it actually, wait, no. The Thunderclock. No, yeah, that came out of that other Apple IIe that I need to get to working on because the battery leaked and corroded the mainboard a little bit. That's another reason why I want to test this live stream here, was because that way I can do it that route. Circuit analysis for the Apple II with no software. But I'm sure the software is in one of these boxes here. Plan 80, a powerful tool for planning and analysis. With the software. Plan 80 Master and Plan 80 Backup. I love software in original binders. It just makes it feel much more cool. Another copy of Plan 80, This one is the demo. Interesting. VisiCalc templates for the real estate analysis series. That sounds like the most boring thing ever. Oh. Yeah, real estate templates volume 2. Yeah, VisiCalc real estate templates. That sounds like the most corporate boring software ever. Apple Fortran language reference manual. I wonder if I should like play around with like Fortran and Pascal someday for the Apple II, because I got the software and the manuals for it. The letter quality printer for the Apple series included the reference card and the demo diskette. So yeah, another printer for the Apple II. So they had letter quality, they had dot matrix, they had the writer. Wait. Wouldn't those be dot matrix? I actually don't know. Maybe somebody can explain that to me. Now I'm really hoping the Apple IIe I'm getting next week works. So I don't know if this Apple II works. This is one that had the battery corrosion on it. This one and the other one behind me, this one's not enhanced, that one's enhanced. I picked up about 2 or 3, like a month before I got the first lot from this gentleman. And I also picked up 2 of the tilt screen monitors, like what you picked up, Charles. And oddly enough, this 2E works just fine. I haven't even cracked the power supply open on this one. The reefer cap hasn't popped yet, which is known for these Apple II lines. And the other 2E that's over there, the enhanced one, the power supply, there's something weird with it where it doesn't power up the machine. But if I take the one out of this 2E and plug it into that one, it does work. So there's something weird with the power supply. I'm kind of betting the Apple IIe will just work. They seem to be a little bit more stout than the Apple II Pluses. I've had this one, and my Bell & Howell one has had RAM issues on the socket side. I don't know why. So they seem to be a little more stout. I'm betting they'll just work. Apple III, the backup user's manual for backup 3. What is this? Backup 3? Oh, it's for backing up the a profile drive. The profile hard drive for the Apple III. He did not say he had a profile. He just said he had the Apple III. But he also said he had the monitor and he didn't find it in the attic. So it might actually be in storage. So he might actually have a hard drive, the profile hard drive for the Apple III. That'd be awesome. Not that it would probably work. A lot of 80s hard drives don't. Apple Pilot Editor's Manual. Another language? Graphics editor. DOS 3.2 Owner's Manual. Yeah, this is an interesting one because, yeah, most of the software and stuff out there for the Apple II, like I said, is for DOS 3.3, not 3.2. I'm going to put these because I have a shelf behind the camera there for all these books and stuff. I just want to get them out of the way real quick. Okay. There, now I have room for more books. Another DAWS 3.2 user's guide. I'm betting one of the controller cards I got from this guy might be a 13 sector one. If that's the case, it's going to be really interesting. QuickFile 3 sampler for the Apple III. Does it have software floppy with it? No. But awesome. That's going with the Apple III manuals. Blank an empty baggie. The Monitor 3 owner's manual for the Apple III. Another OEM prototyping card manual. Another owner's Monitor 3. Monitor 3. He has like 5 Monitor 3 owner's manuals. Those are definitely getting put out there in the community. Apple Post mailing list system. Yeah, I think it's just how to make a like letter, like the layout format for letters and stuff. Epoch. Oh, it's an owner's manual for a game. Apple 2, 3, 48K disk drive. Cool. That's going with the owner's guide. Beagle Bros Apple Software Catalog and Beagle Bros Bulletin. Volume 0, number 6. Yeah, Beagle Bros. These guys are very synonymous with the Apple ecosystem back in the early 80s and stuff. Apple tapes, introductory programs for the Apple II Plus. Oh, they're the it's the owner's manual for the for a cassette. Because early Apple IIs, if you ever have one, on the back there's a cassette in and out port. When the Apple II first came out in 1977, they did not have a disk drive. All your data was on cassettes, just like the VIC-20, the PET. A lot of computers actually use cassettes early in the early days, and there must have been a cassette that has introductory programs for the Apple II Plus. Because I think when the II Plus came out, the floppy disk was just coming out, if I remember correctly. Okay. Modem 300, 1200, User's Guide Part 2, Guide to the Apple III. So you can use this modem with the Apple III. The 2C User's Manual. How to use the mouse paint, yeah, for the 2C. I'm thinking this guy's got a 2C. WPL Manual, 2E only DOS 3.3. Is this another language? Explains rules for writing WPL. What's WPL? That was like another language. Cinertech Hardware Manual. Hardware manual for the SY6500, MCS6500. Oh, wait. What is this? August 1976. Introduction to the MS650X microprocessor family. Is this a book on the 6502? No. Yeah. Yeah, this is the owner's manual for the 6500 series CPUs. The 6501, 2, 3, and 4. Well, that's interesting. Color Plotter User's Manual Guide to the Apple II. Color Plotter. That'd be cool if he had one of those. Guide to new features for the Apple II. About your enhanced Apple IIe. So what makes it better than the non-enhanced Apple II? Which is funny because the Apple IIe stands for enhanced, so the enhanced Apple IIe would be enhanced. ProDOS User's Manual, sealed. Awesome. Okay. And we got some stragglers back under here. Communications Interface Card Manual. We have an envelope with a floppy in it. Mouse print for the Apple II Plus, E, and C. Printers, the dot matrix, the CITO 8510, Epson FX, MX, and RX line, Upkey Data, and Star Micronics. Interface card, a lot. So this is the mouse print. Oh, so basically it just prints pictures? Interesting. I figured this would have came in like a box or something. Personal guide to personal computers for the Apple. What will a personal computer do for me? Another program book. Galactic Wars. You can see if I can find the floppy for that. Formulaics. Not sure what this is, but it does have the floppy with it. Wizards and Princess. So it's a game manual. Oh. Hey Charles. So this is a game book, owner's manual, and the disc is literally the center part of a floppy in a folded up piece of paper with no housing. Oh, that is scary. That's horrifying. I need to find a way to get that saved. That is from Online Systems, Hi-Rez Adventure #2. That is weird. I wonder if anybody's ever heard of that game, because I haven't. Okay. All the books back over here. Yeah. This is kind of why I started. This is kind of why I started with this box, because it's falling apart. Oops. All right. Move this camera a little bit. Sorry. I'm gonna put that camera somewhere so it's not like, so not being weird with it. Okay, next box. Okay. Another box is falling apart. More books. All right. Videx Video Term 80 column display manual. I don't remember getting a 80 column card. Ironically, the only card so far that I haven't gotten for the Apple II series so far is the Mockingboard sound card and the 80 column card. Bootstrap workbench. I hate that. Cut open another floppy and put the disc in the envelope. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing that with that one especially. And I'm going to be immediately hooking it up and backing it up with ADD Pro and Grease Weasel. I'm not quite sure why somebody did that though. Because what's really weird is it was in like the owner's manual thing was not that thick. Like when it folded flat, it wasn't that thick. So I wonder, there's no way that they would have actually sent the game that way, right? Like there's no way. Anyway, where was I? Another Video Term 80 column display operator's manual. Oh yeah, anyway, the only two cards I haven't picked up so far for the Apple II stuff was the Mockingboard sound card and the 80 column card. I would love to get an 80 column card for the two Plus or my Bell & Howell, just because I think it'd make it a little bit more useful. The reference manual for the Apple IIe. ProDOS user's manual with a printed out piece of paper. Oh, looks like he just printed off the contents of a disk. ProDOS basic filers convert startup hypnosis. Okay. So yeah, how to use ProDOS. No floppy, but awesome. Yeah, I love getting documentation stuff for computers, especially ones that I own, because my ideal thing would be to have the owner's manuals and stuff like kind of set up with the apples here. Programming the Apple II in assembly language. Woohoo. I don't know enough about programming, period, to even think about trying to program an assembly. It'd be a little different if I was trying to make like a game for the Apple II and I wanted it in assembly and not anything else, but. Apple Mouse User's Guide for the 2E Plus. Apple Mouse 2 User's Manual for the Apple IIe Plus and the 2. I actually do not have a Apple mouse for the Apple II. I have the interface card, I just don't have the mouse. And apparently they're kind of hard to find. Reference Manual Addendum for the Monitor ROMs listing for the 2E only. Oh, this is all... Ooh. This is all, yeah. Monitor ROMs, 80-column firmware. Yeah, it's just the disassembled code. That's way above my head, by the way. Workbench. ProDOS Technical Reference Manual and ProDOS Assembler Tools. Yeah, just how to use ProDOS and all that stuff in a technical sense. ProDOS Exercises for the Apple II family. ProDOS 1.0 based. ProDOS Assembler Tool for the Apple II family. Oh, it's already the same thing. Yeah, basically assembler tools. Which again isn't really all that useful to a casual user like me, but another workbench binder. This one's blank. About your enhanced 2E program, a programmer's guide. Oh, all the programming stuff for the 2E and stuff for like modes, enhancements, set vid, mouse text, software. Image computer products. Time Manager for the 2 or 2 Plus. Time Manager 2004. Yeah, I don't think that's right. Catalog number 2004. Okay. Yeah, just yeah. Yeah, basically it's a calendar program for the 2 Plus, or the 2 and 2 Plus, but it's in a very, very lovely binder. I love that. We got another one, the Word Handler 2. This side up for 40 and 66 column, this side down, or this side up for 80 column format. Word Handler version 4.0. So it's a text editor? Yeah, it's a text editor for the Apple II. Again, in a really lovely binder. Like, this looks exactly what 70s looks like. Fake leather, soft, slippery. Oh, Geos for the Apple II, I think. I'm assuming Apple II. Everything else has been Apple II. Yeah! Geos version 2.1 Addendum. And Geos for use with the 2E and 2C Disk 3. Geos Backup, Geos Paint. Yeah. So it's the GEOS operating system for the Apple II. So GEOS, for those who aren't familiar with Apple II software and stuff, GEOS was for a lot of different computers. There was a GEOS for the Commodore 64. There was a GEOS for the I think the Amiga. I think the 2GS. I think a lot of the 8-bits had GEOS. Basically, it was instead of command line stuff like the Apple II Plus and 2E would have, it'd be something similar to like what the 2GS and the Macintosh and Lisa would have, the graphical user interface, the Windows. In fact, basically, it's what GEOS is. It's just basically a rudimentary Windows, like 1.0 and stuff for 8-bit systems. And this one's for the Apple II. I really hope that these floppies are good. The assembly cookbook for the 2 and 2E. Oh, it's just for like assembly programs and stuff. The Custom Apple and Other Mysteries. A guide to customizing the Apple hardware and software. Oh, this has like pinouts, ROM code, circuitry schematics of different chips on the 2 and 2E. Wow. Interesting. Apple II assembly language exercises. I mean, I could probably be able to learn how to use assembly then? I don't know. What is this? Uh-oh. Okay. For some reason, I had a warning that my life was about to end, and I've still got like 50% battery. Well, on TikTok anyway. All right. The Apple Computer Software 1983. The one book every Apple owner should have. I'm not kidding. That's what it says. Executive Secretary. Oh, it's a... Oh, it's not typing stuff, like typing in software. It's like it's a catalog. Interesting. And finally, Easy Draw with the floppy. Easy Draw 3.3. Product 1980. Oh, so it's for drawing stuff on the Apple III easier. Or Apple II easier. Cool. Again, this box has seen better days. Okay. I'm going to put all this stuff now. Put it back over here. Okay. All right. Next box. Okay. All right. This one is labeled Atari, so this might go with the 1040 ST, I think. Unison World for business, home, schools, and organizations. Oh yeah, they're edutainment programs. Yeah. Atari 520 and 1040 ST Printmaster Plus loading instructions. The user's guide to Printmaster Plus for the Atari ST. Price list for ST software, February 1991. Oof. Atari Mega 4 CPU only, $1,600. Whew. People complain about the price of computers now. We have a folder with old school grid paper. Like really old school grid paper. Atari Explorer, March 1991. Hands-on with the new Mega STE. I need to get like a magazine rack thing or something for display purposes. This is cool. Atari Explorer, February 1991. Wait, what's on the back of this one is our Atari portfolio, and the back of this one is the Atari Lynx for only $99. Can I go back in time? Not that the Lynx was a great handheld console, but can I go back in time? Looks like some printed off screenshot stuff for the ST. TimeWorks for the personal computer. It's out of order. Swift Calc for the Atari ST line. Yep, okay. So, yeah, it's a spreadsheet program like Excel. That's what it was. I couldn't think of Excel earlier. Oh my god. Abacus software. Chart Pack for making charts and graphs using the Atari ST. Interesting, is there software? There is. Chart Pack ST. Heck yeah. Now I really hope I can find a floppy drive for that ST if I can get it to work. Architectural design disc. For the Atari ST. Requires CAD 3D. Oh, so you can... Ooh. You can make architectural designs in 3D on the ST. Alright. Compute's second big book of Atari ST. These were really cool. Oh, there's no software floppy. Crap. But yeah, these were really cool books because a lot of computers had them back in the day. Basically, it was just like a reader's condensed book of how to use certain computers, certain software. Oh, that's cool. Athena 2.0, computer-aided design for the Atari ST. Oh, so it's a CAD program for the ST. Catalyst, hard disk boot for the Apple III. Oh, wait, no. First CAD for the Atari ST. It's just in an Apple III binder. Dang it. I was kind of hoping that was going to be more Apple III software. Not that I need it, because it doesn't work yet. Dr. T's music software, fulfilling the promise of MIDI for the Atari ST. For use with Dr. T's KCS. I don't... That's interesting. Yeah, the MIDI thing. The Atari ST had MIDI in and MIDI out, so there was like music development stuff for the Atari ST line because they were just so powerful with it. The Atari ST User's Manual. Connecting the television switch box. If you have the right model, I don't have the right model for that. Infocom. You're about to see the fantastic world of Infocom unfold before your very eyes. It's a poster. Oh. That is cool. It's got all the different Infocom text fetcher games for all these different systems. Wishbringer, Zork, Zork 2, 3, Sorcerer, Infidel, Starcross, Spellbreaker. Yeah. That I want to get in a frame and have somewhere on the wall. I have a lot of dead space right there. I could put posters up there. Where is this? This is for a game of some kind, but for a game of some kind, but I don't know what it's for. Atari ST series controls, Outcast controls, art gallery. Oh my god. Floppies galore. Lock on, Saint Protector, Vegas Gambler, Vegas Craps, Black Camp, Time Blast, Star Raiders, Iridium, Road Wars, Vampire Diaries, Winter Challenge, Infidel, Liberator, Star Raiders again, Outrun, Xeon, Moon Patrol, Shark Attack. Oh, I have like a crap ton of Atari ST software here. Oh man. I've been live for an hour and a half. Oh my god. And I'm not even done yet. Yeah, more. We have Gem for the Atari ST. That's important. That's the desktop for the Atari ST. So yeah, we have a whole bunch of floppies here. A whole bunch of loose floppies. Whole bunch of loose floppies. Put it back in the box. Expedition log. I think it's for a game. I'm not sure. Mixtron. Owner's manual. Oids. Pro Copy ST. Mean 18 by Accolade. Coming soon to the Atari ST. Software manual. Ooh, Rockford. Vegas Gambler book. Word Writer ST manual. Major Motion manual. Boulder Dash construction kit. Checkmate. Lock On and Star Raiders. Bunch of loose stuff in here. Paradox for the ST. Yeah, just a bunch of owner's manuals and stuff in here. Transpooter. Oh, it's a game. So yeah, a bunch of Atari ST stuff. If I can get that ST working, I got software galore. If I can get a floppy drive to work for it. It's funny, if like I said before, usually when I come across computers, it's like I come across one, maybe two tiny little things, or I come across with like an entire like horror worth at once. There's like never an in between. How's my battery doing? 0. Got it. Not gonna lie, I really lean on Claude AI for coding. Yeah, me and you talked about that before too. When it comes to AI for coding and stuff, I know people don't like AI for stuff, but if it can be used to code things like recover lost data on a floppy, then by all means, I think that's how AI should be used. Okay. Another box. Again, falling apart. Ooh. We got a folder full of Z80 cross assembler for MS-DOS and CP/M 86. Interesting. I didn't know there was a cross assembler for CP/M 86. Oh, whoops. Tame Your Mouse for the app. Oh, they're just printed off. They're just copied off stuff for the Apple IIs. Popular Science. 1981. New personal computers on the block. First look at models from IBM, Xerox, and others. I flipped the page 3 times and there's 3 cigarette ads. Marlboro, Camel, and Winston. Oh, the 80s. Never change. Yeah, interesting. I want to kind of look through these at some point because I love looking through old magazines. Just seeing like how people thought things were going to be. Time. February 1982, Striking at Risk. America's Risk Takers. Steven Jobs. Not Steve. No, Steven. That's when we're being professional and serious about things. Routing slip technical information. Apple Source 22, 1981. Champion the Apple III. Service notices for... Oh, this is interesting. In March, we informed you about the forthcoming availability of the Apple IIe Rev B logic board. These are now available, so Volton explains the circumstances of which in a revision A can be swapped for revision B for procedures and involved. So this is an email that was sent, or an email, notice sent out to Apple II techs, or Apple techs, for how to update the Apple IIe to the Rev A from Rev A to Rev B. That's interesting. These kind of Providence things are amazing. Swap keyboard, swap RAM, retry message, hard boot, Apple III boot flow, no boot flow. Yeah, flow charts for the Apple II and III. This kind of Providence stuff is awesome because a lot of this kind of documentation wasn't fully saved back in the day. So, mouse desk for the Apple IIc and IIe. And I really weird. That cover's really weird. It's like shiny cloth. Apple assembly language programming. Mountain Hardware, the Apple Clock. Oh, we have a Apple IIe numpad with no key. Oh, that bag of spare keycaps. I bet that's what is for this. That's in that box over there. Okay, and in box Apple II games. Apple Computer Baseball for the 2 with AppleSoft or 48K. Torpedo Fire. The Warp Factor. Chronicles of Oathguard Shattered Alliance by SSI. Cartels and Cutthroats. Oh yeah, they even have all the they even have floppies on them. Perfect. Mr. Robot and his Robot Factory. Apple II Plus 48K with disk drive. Works on the 2C. Gemstone Warrior. Apple 64K disc for the AppleSoft ROM 2 Plus, 2E, and 2C. There's the floppy in it. I didn't check the others, I guess, but it is in there. Oh, that is awesome. That's awesome, actually. Yeah, I know that these games are probably out there on the internet to be written using ADT Pro, but the fact that I have physical games for it are just awesome. ProBiter, the DOS utility by Beagle Bros, in the box. That's awesome. That's like epic. It's a magazine, but it's missing the cover. The Prometheus Versa card. Oh, there's a type-in game. Yeah. I'm not sure. It's fall of 1981, Apple Orchard. It is missing its front cover, but it does have a picture of the Apple II with the CPM card. Modem 300, 1200 User's Guide, Guide to the Apple III. There's something in here. Whoa. This is a sealed Apple III diskware for the Apple Term 3 modem program. For the 3 only, Pascal 1.1 based. And it's sealed still. Oh my god, that is awesome. I mean, even though it's kind of useless, because I think that software might already be archived. But that's awesome. That needs to go with the Apple III stuff over there. we have a folder that says Apple Log, 1982. Advertising. Oh. Volume 1. Catalog of all Apple products. This is a promo magazine. Yeah, this is a promotional thing for Apple Log with a magazine. Advertising, yeah, ad insertion order. So this would have been like something a salesman would have had. This is amazing providence to stumble on. Oh Lord. Apple Plus Insider. February 1990. The Apple Desktop Bus, the GS's most underrated feature. So this talks about, yeah, the Apple II GS and all the accessories and stuff for the GS. Awesome. And then we have Nuts and Bolts magazines for the buying and selling of electronic equipment. This box is cool. Like, in-box Atari 2 games? Those definitely are going to be going on the shelf up there above the Apple II. That's awesome. Okay, get this out of the way. All right, this box has a bunch of stuff in it. The lid fell apart, so I can kind of see what's already in it, so I'm not over like, oh my god, about it. But we finally have a Disk 2 drive. I have been wanting to get one of these for a while for the 2 Plus, because this is the drive that should be with it, not the new later 3.5 one like was on my 2GS. This one's immaculate. Like, metal. There's no scratches on it. This is epic. Oh, there's a floppy in it. DOS 3.3 basics. And I can tell the media is dented like it's been in there forever. I'm gonna put that off to the side. Hopefully that didn't mess with the read-write head, but that is awesome. That, I want to test out at some point. Not in this video, but I am going to be testing that out at some point with that 2 Plus. Oh. The Apple III Profile Controller Card. So I have an expansion card for the 3 if I ever get it working, but this is for the hard drive, and unfortunately, the protocol for these are extremely proprietary. I think they're supposed to be parallel, but it's a weird version of parallel where you can't just like get any of the modern stuff for the 2E to work. But that's cool. The Apple III Profile hard card controller. We have the Apple III Parallel Apple II Parallel Interface card. Yeah, this is for controlling parallel printers, mainly. I think that's all what these were for. They might have had a different purpose for them. I'm not 100% certain, but at least I'm going to check out in the future. A Heuristics Model 20A-F. I have to look up to see what that is at some point. We have a Disk 2 interface card that says 16 on it. Okay, so there actually might be one that says 13. I don't know. Oh. We have a card here with a button. And it looks extremely handmade. Like even hand-drawn traces. says Pirates Cove on it. But Pirates Cove was a game, not a card. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to be taking some pictures of those. We have an Apple computer board of some kind. This is weird. It's got the pinout connector here for the 2E keyboard, but it's got the header here for the Apple II Plus keyboard. This looks like an adapter converter board or something. We got paddles. Yeah, the official Apple II paddles for the Tool series. Got another set of paddles, but these, the dip connector is damaged. It's going to fix that. A third set of paddles. So I have a set of paddles for the 2 Plus and the Bell & Howell once I get it fully working. Another Disc 2 interface card, again with the 16 sticker on it. Might have to go through my other ones and see if there's anyone that say 13. A cassette tape. MHI Intro L demo for the Apple II. I don't have a cassette player for the Apple II. I need to get one and see what this does. That's weird. Killed Q2 on disk controller. Stole all chips out of disk drive. Uh-oh. Is that disk drive faulty? Is that what I'm reading from this? Oh no. No, I'm going to be taking pictures of these. These are all like IC chips. One each. Yeah, these are all vintage circuitry chips. I'm going to have to take pictures of these and send them on to... I'm on Usagi Electric's Discord, and a lot of those guys are like gurus of this old stuff, so I might have to take pictures of some of these and post on there. Hey, I got a spare power supply. Wonder if it works. It's the brass model, so this is an earlier one, like for the 2 Plus, the Bell & Howell, and the early 2E, so maybe I can use this to get that other 2E enhanced working. Another Herostics card of some kind. We have a Orbital Systems 2EZ card with hand-drawn traces and a Zilog Z80. I wonder if this is a clone of the Microsoft soft card. Hey Charles, know anybody that needs a crap ton of 555 timers? I got 3 tubes here of any 555 BPs. Not sure what these are. I got more IC chips here. All of them are dated like 75, 73, 73. These chips are ancient. This one's dated 73 as well, and it's in a weird format. Ever seen anything like that, Charles? It's like the pins are bent out on this carrier. Some more chips with 76 and 77 date codes. So they're predating the Apple II even. We have a Okay, I saw this earlier. I posted a picture of this box specifically on Usagi Electric's Discord. It was when before he loaded it up and he was stashing stuff away. This was right on top. This is a motherboard, the main board for a Macintosh 512K with the Dove Computer Corporation RAM expansion, the MaxSnap. And I believe it's a 512K RAM upgrade or a 1 megabyte RAM upgrade, I believe. I mean, I don't have the housing, I don't have the casing, I don't have none of the stuff to get this thing working again. The ROM chips are even missing, but it is a Macintosh 512K board. Warning from YouTube. What is that? Streams current bit. Oh, yeah, ignore that. I could use like maybe 3. I need to build some some back porch circuits for my ST1000. Yeah, I got tubes of them. Yeah, and Charles, I'm going to be posting some of these pictures on the Discord. Just to see what they are, because this one's an AMD 862529-0016. I got a JM38510-001. Yeah, these are old ICs, whatever they are. We have, this is kind of interesting. So this is a, actually I wasn't frame on the TikTok, I'm sorry. This is a Game 2, or this is a Game Card 3 for the Apple III and Apple II with a little toggle switch. Now, when I posted that picture of this box before the guy brought it to me, this was sitting on top as well with this Macintosh board. And I was told that this is a potential prototype game card because it doesn't match the official one that was released, which was even rarer to find. So this is a prototype card from this guy, and it's actually really neat. Like it doesn't match the one that was actually officially released. And what's really weird is a lot of the IC chips are all erased. Like somebody took something and scrubbed the model numbers off the card. The keypad 2E operator's manual, and oh geez, a numpad for the 2E with the earlier style DIN connector, D-sub connector. We have a bunch of IC chips here that are just loose in here. ST984-608-1031. And 8881A. Yeah, just so many IC chips in here. I need to wait somewhere to put. I need somewhere to put all these chips. There's a lot in here. N8162A. Another IC chip. They're not RAM chips either, whatever they are. They're like actual IC chips. Okay, and last thing in this box is another one of these prototype. No, it's not. Ooh, it's a prototype card, but it's a prototype of that game card, but it's even earlier of that prototype. Like they got resistors triangled here. They've got 2 jumper wires here. The switch isn't even labeled on the silk screening. Some of the silk screening on the back is actually hand drawn too. This is That's an extreme prototype. And there's actually Game Card 3 prototype floppy. And it even, wow, even hand-drawn diagram schematic stuff for the Apple III of where to plug stuff in at. This, oh, that's cool. That's way cool. Yeah, these two are definitely not being not being messed with. Okay. So I got even more cards to sort through. Bunch of ICs. Wow, I've been live for almost 2 hours. Wow. Okay. Battery's good. Okay. All right. So this box here, I'm gonna turn that a little bit. All right. So this box here, is the last box, but it's also, okay, it's not the full last box. There's a box of floppies there, and there's a box of all the cards I've picked up from this guy too. But anyway, this box here was actually the first box he pulled out of his vehicle, and he started to laugh a little bit, and he said, "You're probably going to end up getting rid of this or selling it because of what it is." And I had no idea what he was talking about. So, like I said before, this guy quit an Apple before the Lisa came out, and everything in this box is Lisa documentation, like every bit of it. We have Lisa Calc, Lisa Write, the owner's manual for the Lisa, Lisa Graph, Lisa Draw, Lisa Project, Lisa List, plus a bunch of loose papers that go to one of them. So yeah, a full suite of documentation, no software unfortunately, but full suite of documentation for the Lisa. And it's really neat to have this, but I'm not, like I said, I'm not keeping this. I've actually been in contact with somebody on Usagi Electric's Discord that they know somebody who's been looking for Lisa documentation, so I'm kind of waiting to hear back from them on this. So yeah, this is definitely not staying in my collection. It's actually going back in the box and being put up. And the reason why it's kind of, he said it's gonna, he said he's fine with me, like I said, getting this stuff out into the hands, and if I can make a buck or two. Like I said, I'm not selling this for what could be eBay pricing. I haven't even seen this stuff on eBay. I even looked, I couldn't find it. So, like I said, he kind of was, you know, he wanted it in the hands of people who could use it. And I have no use for Lisa documentation. I don't even have a Lisa. I have zero ambition of finding a Lisa. Even if he does have a Lisa and he does bring it the next time he comes, I am absolutely not gonna be keeping that in my collection, because Lisas are kind of a pain to restore. They're kind of a pain to use, and they have a lot of provenance with them, and a lot of the hardcore collectors like them. So yeah, this is definitely not staying in my collection, but it is neat to have my hands on it. Okay, so this box here is not from this trip. It's from the prior trip that I met up with this guy. And unfortunately the boxes fell apart. And I kind of did a video on this stuff earlier, but there was a lot of super neat stuff in the boxes that he brought the last time, including Apple II RGB output cards, which need a very specific monitor to use, unfortunately. controller card, a hand-built Mimco joystick for the Apple II, which has a switch for stick and paddle. It's so I can plug this into the back and then plug a paddle in, and then I don't have to keep switching it. And yeah, some of the stuff in here is stuff I pulled out of the other Apples, so I could do a video on that stuff later. But we've got an Apple clock, RamWorks 2, soft card, serial card, RamWorks 1, disc controller cards. This was neat to come across in the stuff he brought. This was a universal disc controller card. And this, in an enhanced Apple II, which is over there, not working yet, this allows me to use 3.5-inch floppies on the 2E Enhanced, which is awesome. Premium soft card, another drive controller card, which I need to see if that's a 13 sector or not. We have another Z80 card, another Apple clock, a couple RAM cards, soft cards, the mouse interface, which I don't have the mouse for. This is the RAM card that came. This is a 16K RAM card that I picked up, I think, on eBay or something, and it just didn't work, but that's not important. Another serial card, I have like 6 super serial cards. I could technically network all these together with serial if I really wanted to. Parallel printer card. But yeah, this guy, like I said, he was a technician in the engineering part of Old Apple, so there's here's the later, where that other, so yeah, to kind of put this into perspective, this is the early 2E numpad, and here's the later 2E numpad, and this actually has the converter board that would work with an Apple II Plus. I can use this one on a 2 Plus because it's got this adapter board. This guy was actually really smart for just being a, well, not just being a technician, but not being an official engineer. And the case in point on that one too, this one is one he modified for the later connector, but on the back it says sample. This is a prototype of the numpad. Like I said, he brought a bunch of stuff. A whole bunch of the encoder boards for the 2 Plus keyboards. Whole bunch of these Apple joysticks. Couple of these boards, I have no idea what they fully do. This one is called the Apple Bunny that he built and designed, and I think it snaps onto the pins of the encoder board, like this one just snaps onto it, and it does something. I haven't been able to figure out exactly what it does yet. That's a future thing. Six, that's super. Yeah, I don't like, almost every, I got picked up like 3 super serial cards from this guy. There was one in all 3 of the 2Es that I picked up. So I got like a whole crap ton of super serial cards. No idea if they all work yet. But yeah, oh yeah, there's a bunch of IC chips that he sent to. Bunch of joysticks. He designed and built these little boards here. They're a switch block board PCB. You put in the Apple II here, that Apple II Plus that has the dip style joystick socket, and then you can switch between joysticks or paddles, so you don't have to keep unplugging them from within the computer. Like I said, this guy was creative. Get all these cards back in here. I need to get a tote and actually start organizing all these cards, because my ideal thing is with all these cards and stuff that I've got is to at some point get all these computers to be not maxed out, because there's really not a point to maxing them all out, but get them all kind of updated and upgraded in their own ways. Oh no, what's stuck? That's stuck. And then for the last thing that I picked up from him, I'm not going through all of these floppies right this second. Yeah, there was 2 more of these wooden floppy cases that hold like 96 floppies. So about 300 plus floppies I got from this guy, all various software. Image Writer 2, DOS Master, Zork, Pascal, language card. Like they're diagnostic stuff for the 2E and stuff. There's so many floppies I picked up from this guy. It's just, oh, it's unreal. That's the reason why the shelf over here I'm actually clearing off, and I'm slowly putting all the software and stuff on there. Oh Lord. Okay. I'm going to be ending the live here in a few minutes, because I've been doing this for about 2 hours. Yeah, this was just a test stream to make sure all my hardware and stuff was working. That light needs to go be fixed. I'm going to actually move this real quick. Okay. Okay, so we're going to be ending the stream here in a few minutes, just because, like I said, I've been doing this for about 2 hours, which is not super long in terms of a live stream, but for a test live stream, yeah, that's quite a long time. Hello, Techie Things on TikTok. Yeah, so this is a lot. Moth. There was a lot of Apple stuff I picked up from this gentleman, and he still has more, he claims. He says he's got a storage unit that he... Well, the only reason why he thinks there's more Apple stuff anyway is because he knows he had a Monitor 3 for the Apple 3, and he knows he had something else that he did not find in his attic. And I absolutely told him there was no need to rush on getting this stuff, because obviously it took me how long to finally get the previous load sorted and organized. I finally got most of the books from the last one on some shelves. I finally got the floppies sorted in terms of like games, productivity software, edutainment stuff from the last 2 bins of floppies sorted. It took me months of getting time to get down here to do it. So yeah, I'm in no rush for this guy to find to find more of it. Oh, like I said before, when it comes to me finding computer stuff, it's either I find like 1 or 2 little things, or I come across a whole haul. It was that way with the IBMs I picked up before. The 5150, 60, and 70 I all picked up at the exact same time, with 2 AMDeck monitors, or 3 AMDeck monitors, 2 monochrome and a CGA one. It was that way with this Apple stuff. It wasn't like 1 or 2 little things, it was a whole crap ton. With the other Apple IIs I found, it was 2 Apple IIs, 2 monitors, a printer, cables, like it. I'm not complaining about it. I mean, I love collecting the stuff and keeping it from, you know, trash heaps and scraps and e-waste, and keeping it from becoming an overpriced, outdated iPhone that'll be outdated in like 6 months. But yeah, I'm gonna have to spend a lot of time going through these boxes and getting stuff sorted out from what's for the Apple III, what's for the Apple II. Put all the Atari ST stuff into a box and slowly start getting plans to get that restored. That one might be really problematic with the fact that I need a special monitor to get a display. The Amiga 500, it has a composite port, so if the monitor didn't work, the VGA one didn't work, I could just plug it into any any composite video source like old TV, a USB capture card, whatever, and I could still get it to display. But I was able to find the DB23 to VGA cable on eBay, and that monitor just happened to work. It's going to be the same thing with that Atari. Is if I can find a VGA cable that can work with the ST, and that monitor will work, because for that to work, I need a 15 kilohertz sync, and unfortunately, most modern flat screens and LCDs are 30 kilohertz minimum. So I don't know why they can't add the extra circuitry to go down to 15. It's not like it costs any more. Stuff's already expensive enough as it is. But yeah, like I said, this video was just I'm in YouTuber mode. Anyway, this stream was just a test stream for making sure that I could live stream well. And obviously, I keep getting a warning from the YouTube studio that my bit rate's not set right, and that's again something that I was testing out to make sure it works. But according to my wife upstairs, who's modding this, everything seems to be working perfectly just fine. How do I archive what? How do I archive the floppies? I either use ADD Pro. Well, okay, let me rephrase this because I had a problem with this a while ago. Originally, when I got a whole bunch of these floppies, I was archiving them. This Apple IIe back here functions perfectly. So I stole the 5 1/4 drive from my 2GS, plugged it in here, and then with a serial card and a USB to RS-232 cable, I'd use ADD Pro to basically copy the disk images over. But after I met up with AJ over at Forgotten Machines, when he bought my Texas Instruments professional computer from me, he was showing the Grease Weasel and Apple Cider device, and I kind of bought a Grease Weasel to be able to archive Apple II floppies on my laptop instead of going through the whole headache of using Apple IIe to do it. The Apple IIe method works with ADD Pro. It's just the Grease Weasel works just a little bit better. It does support .dsk and .po images that Apple II uses. But at the same time, with ADD Pro, it basically copies it as it's supposed to, using the Apple format. So there's no conversion issues or bit issues or flux issues. I haven't had any issues with archiving with Grease Weasel though. It's worked perfectly every time I have, except for the one floppy I sent an image to AJ. It was the alignment floppy for the disk 2 drive. It gives a bad read, but I think it's supposed to do that. Like, I don't think it's copyable, but that's whatever. Yeah, and the thing is, when I archive these floppies as well, I will actually go on to some of the archive sites that already do exist for Apple floppies, and I'll see what has been archived. And like 99% of the stuff on those sites have already been archived in some way, shape, or form. So realistically, any archive copies I make for Apple floppies are for my own use and my own storage. That way, I know what I have and what I don't have. But realistically, by this point, most Apple II floppies have been archived. I haven't really found anything yet that has not already been archived. There might be a couple diagnostic things that haven't been archived. In fact, let me grab it real quick. A second one. The only one that I haven't archived fully yet is automatic disc speed test for the disc 2 and disc 3. So this basically tests the rotational speed and alignment of the disc 2 and 3 drives for the Apple II and Apple III. This one I've tried archiving with Greaseweasel, and it's not wanting to read this one correctly. I gave it several passes, and I don't know what format the data's in. It might not even be in a data format that the Apple II can use. I think the only way to actually correctly archive this one would be with the Apple Cider software, which apparently, I don't want to badmouth or anything based on hearsay, but I've heard it from a couple people, including AJ, that the Apple Cider isn't the best for certain things, apparently. He's been having some issues. But yeah, as far as I know, everything that I've got has been archived, I believe. So, yeah, AJ is the best. Everybody in the club getting the TIPC. Yeah, he was really excited to get his hands on that Texas Instruments PC there. Especially since it had the color monitor and the keyboard with it. And I'm really happy that it went to somebody who was able to, display it correctly. He's taken it to several conventions I know of and had it shown off. And I absolutely love that because I haven't yet been to a convention. My plan is I want to this year go to VCF Midwest. But it's still in the planning stages because it's quite a bit of a drive from here. But yeah, it's just I'm really happy that went to a good home. That's kind of what this storage guy is, that he's getting up there in age and he wanted this stuff to be put out there into the hands of people who are going to use it. Like those Lisa binders and documentation, that's going to be going to hopefully somebody on Usagi Illustra's Discord who has a Lisa and can better put those to use. As for a lot of the a lot of the expansion cards are going to be used in some of my stuff, but I'm not sure what I want to do with those prototype Apple III game cards, especially since one is like an early revision, it looks like, from it. I'm not sure what to do with those, but that's all future headache me. I do have enough parts here, though. I should be able to get my Bell & Howell fully up and operational. I should be able to get the other two E's here fully up and going. That's all going to be future stuff. So, yeah. Really looking forward to getting to get those working again. I think it may have been a VCF Southwest. Yeah, I think he did take that to VCF Southwest. I don't remember if he took the TIPC to VCF Midwest. I know he mentioned that the times he's gone to VCF Midwest, since that's the closest one to me and him, that's why he was really interested in getting it, because he doesn't really see the TIPC too much up here. Usually they are in the Southwest and Texas area, but yeah, that's, like I said, I'm glad it went to a good home. A better home than what I could have used, because at the time I didn't have a Greaseweasel to make floppies for it. I found software for it, but I never was able to make a floppy that would work with it, and he, was able to get it working. But yeah, I'm going to be ending the stream here pretty soon. I've been doing this for about, what did they, 2.5 hours? Which is a lot longer than I thought I was going to. Plus, I think my TikTok one's about to die. So, yeah. oh, this stream was a lot of fun, and I'm really glad that it all is working out. Cameras are working. Um, my microphone's working. The only one that's not working, obviously, is the camera I use for recording video. But that's because when it's in webcam mode, if you're not this far away from it or this close to it, it freaks out. And I found that out the hard way when I was trying to get stuff set up. But yeah, um, definitely gonna be doing this a lot more. Definitely gonna be doing this a lot more often. I don't know what day. Like I said, today was just supposed to be a test stream to see if everything was working, and I figured what would be a better test stream than something that really wasn't important, which was going through some hardware boxes. I didn't want to be doing this for like any hardware stuff and have there be issues, and then I'd have to re-record, and I don't like the idea of faking reactions. So yeah, I'm going to be doing this again, definitely in the future. I think the next live stream I'm going to be doing is going to be either the Apple III or the PDP-1103. In fact, I think I actually might be that because that's going to be a very long running restoration series. But yeah, that's going to be the future plan for the next live stream. Is going to be either the PDP-1103 or the Apple III. And yeah, really hope you all enjoyed this stream so far. Apologize for the light blowing things out when I was standing there. Obviously, I need to sit next to live stream and not rely on that light anymore. Lighting is still something I have been fighting with in my videos. It always has. Not sure why. I don't have like soft light boxes or directional lights or anything like that. I just have these cheap LED lights I bought from like I think Baumgars, and LED lights that I mounted over there. So because I never really intended to do much recording or live streaming in here, so a lot of it was for displaying things, which obviously it lights up really well for displaying. But live streaming, I can tell this light I need to like maybe put a diffuser over it or something. I don't know. Future stuff. Looking forward to the next stream. Yeah. I'm definitely going to be more on top of putting out a notification for it because I made a post Friday that I was going to be going live Sunday. I just didn't know when, and I would put the time out on Saturday, but I never did. And then I decided to post that I was going live like an hour before I did. So yeah, next time I'm going to be more on top of it. Not sure the exact day because obviously all of that depends on stuff with my wife, kid, and family and stuff, which does come first. But hopefully, yeah, next stream's definitely going to be not months from now. I had one drop, but I think it was on my end. If it was on your end, great, because I've been getting a warning the entire time here about bit rate on YouTube Studio. I don't know, because on my OBS capture it's crystal clear and perfect, but I can see on the YouTube Live it's for some reason it's washed out and it's really fuzzy. I don't know what's going on there. But like I said, it's a setting thing. I got to tweak some stuff. Like I said, experimental stream here. I'm glad it all worked out. I was able to do it for 2.5 hours, which is still way longer than I actually thought. I guess I was just rambling too much with stuff. Okay. So yeah, again, gonna be into the stream here in a minute. I had a lot of fun doing this. I hope you all enjoyed it. I kind of screwed up because I was supposed to release a video before this. I talked about the future plans about me doing any live streaming. Because I want to keep. Yeah, I'm getting a battery low warning. So the TikTok one ends. I do apologize, but where's it going? Yeah, my plan for keeping things separate from my computer stuff here and my video game stuff was anything computer related, like restorations, live streams like this involving computers. The computer room was going to be on YouTube Live, and then all my stuff involving gaming, game captures, consoles, and that kind of stuff would be on Twitch, just to kind of keep them separate. And then TikTok Live would kind of be the gray area where I do both things on it. So, yeah, it's. I didn't get that video released yet, that vlog video yet, but that's the upcoming video. So, yeah, that's going to be talking about a lot more of the future project stuff. But anyway, the stream is going to be ending. So, again, thank you all for watching the stream. I really hope you did enjoy it. Taking a look at all this Apple II stuff. I'm going to be taking a lot of pictures of these things and posting it on some Discords and Facebook groups I'm in to get more information about what I all picked up. Definitely going to be doing this again in the future, just in general for live streaming, but also for the next time he comes up with more Apple stuff, which, like I said, some of the stuff's actually going to be going away to get out in the community. So, yeah, that's going to, especially some of these prototype cards and that Lisa stuff. So, again, hope you all enjoyed the live, and I will be seeing you all in the next video and hopefully the next live here in the future. So, well, thanks for watching, and see you on the next one.